Welcome to this quick 15 minutes umbrella painting tutorial. Hi, I'm Karen Rice and welcome to my acrylic painting channel. If you haven't already, why not subscribe to my channel for updates of my latest tutorials. For a full list of the materials I'm using, please check out the description below, but I'm going to be using just 2 sets of primary colours. That's 2 yellows, 2 blues and 2 reds, a cool and warm version. I'm using one flat 3/4 inch brush and I've made a stay wet palette, and I've got a video below in the description that shows you how to make a stay wet palette. So shall we get started? I'm actually using acrylic paper on block, and I put some framing tape, it's just like masking tape, around the edge so I get a nice white border. So I'm starting off with a flat 1-inch brush. As you can see, I've started my timer. This painting is going to be for 15 minutes. I do paint very fast, but I do think it's a nice way of warming up. Maybe not painting this fast, but I do like painting this way. I seem to sort of create different things because I don't think too much. I just paint from the heart. But I've mixed up white and yellow ochre, and I'm painting this all over the paper here to start off with a sort of base coat to get myself started. I've added a little bit of white at the top here, and I'm blending in, and it's very exciting painting this fast as well. I'm kind of painting from my imagination. I really love street scenes and people with umbrellas, so that's what I intend to do. So what I've mixed up here is some yellow and red to make some orange, and I've added a touch of pink and a tiny touch of blue. And what you get with blue and orange is you get some browns, and you get lots of different shades of brown. So what I love about just using 3 primary colours, and these are the 2 sets cool and warm version, is you get lots and lots of different colours, and you learn so much about colour mixing. And I've kept the painting here really simple. I'm just sort of blocking in an imaginary sort of cityscape here with buildings in the distance, using oranges and browns, just mixing up from these 3 primary colours with a touch of white as well. As it goes further into the distance, into the middle of the painting here, I'll get a little bit lighter, just adding a touch more white here. Acrylic paints do dry incredibly fast, so do make sure that you rinse your brush in between stages, because they could dry hard after a while. But also you do need to work pretty quickly so that the paint doesn't dry on the canvas or whatever surface you're using. So it's a good idea to really load your brush with paint so it gives you longer. You can add a little bit of water to sort of speed, to stop the drying time going too fast, or you can actually buy something called a retarder, and that slows down the drying time. I don't think I've got much problem of the acrylic painting drying too much here, not the speed I paint at. I think I've developed this speed and got quick because I've demonstrated in acrylics for many years, and in order for my students to have time to paint, when I demonstrated, I did it quite quickly to give them time to paint, just to kind of explain my process. So I've added actually here some red and blue and just cooled down the colours a little bit here, and added some pink as well, some yellows, just to get a variety of colours. And I brought some of the colour as well down into the road, the pavement as well, and just using the tip of my brush to sort of show the tops of the building. I actually think the middle building in the distance there almost looks like a cathedral. That was a happy accident. But I'm just blending away here and just keeping everything really loose, and I'm just stopping the timer there to give my painting a blow dry and to really rinse off, clean off my brush. And here I go again on a dry surface there. Now the reason why I use warm and cool primaries is you just get such a variety of colours. And for instance, if you were to mix pink, the pink I've got there, quinacridone magenta, with the cobalt blue, you'll get a beautiful violet. But if you were to mix the red with the Prussian or the Cyan blue I'm using there, you'd get a very muddy grey violet. So you do get lots of different colours using the different primary colours, and I would really urge you to do some colour mixing exercises. It's just a good way of learning about colour mixing, but also just getting used to your acrylics as well. I'm actually mixed up some of the blue with the red, touch of yellow, and I'm just sort of painted some sort of darker marks in the buildings, and I'm using the tip of my brush to paint in some dark windows. You can also use the black for this as well. It is incredibly difficult to get the detail here with this flat brush, but the reason why I'm challenging myself with the flat brush and encourage you to just sort of limit your materials is because you sort of get rid of all the sort of distractions and you just concentrate on mark making. And it's amazing what can happen just using one brush. It is a bit tricky painting people, but it's a challenge for me. But I really do urge you, especially using a flat brush, especially painting people and umbrellas, because you can just get these sort of basic shapes. Painting's all about colour and shape and tones and, you know, different marks. So I really encourage you. So I'm just painting some people here. I'm using sort of black with some red with the flat brush, and I always paint heads of people very, very small, exaggerate it. And I usually do an arch window for the body and just like two sort of like rectangles, skinny little rectangles that sort of end in a point for legs. I keep it really, really simple. I'm creating an illusion and keeping it simple, especially if you're starting out in acrylic painting or any sort of painting for that matter. So I've painted in the girl, the star of the show, in the centre there with some black for her hair, red for the jumper, a sort of a dark tonal colour for her skirt, and some dark boots as well, using the tip, the side, the edge of my brush, really getting to explore the mark making with this flat synthetic brush. So I've decided to go for a red stroke pink umbrella here. I'm not worried, as you can see, I'm not worried about getting really tidy edges. I'm being very expressive with my brush marks. You know, I'm painting. I'm not sort of filling in a colouring book exercise, not wanting to go over the edge. I'd like to encourage everyone to express themselves with marks and just see what happens. You know, yours may not turn out anything like mine. And if I did this again, mine may be very different as well. And also, if I didn't give myself a timer, I might have got a little bit tighter because the time is sort of ticking away here and I've sort of limited myself with brush and colour. Different things are happening. I'm having to kind of think, I can't put that in. That's too busy. That's too detailed. So, you know, you get different things out of yourself and you start to think about different ways, different aspects, different things that are important in the painting. One thing I will say is I've cut a little bit out here and there, but I really rinse the brush. I have to touch the bottom of the little, I just recycled a little bottle there, plastic bottle, but really sort of push the brush against the bottom of that, because acrylics, you really want to try and get the paint off the brush, and do keep changing your water regular. It's really important. I've just put a little bit of reflection underneath the people that I've painted there as well. So I've mixed up a bit of yellow and blue here. I'm trying to vary the colours of the clothing. I'm not quite sure if everyone's walking around town with these colours on, but it just makes for a very sort of bright, interesting painting and fun to do. But as you can see, again, I just do little arch windows or soft long rectangles with soft sides for shoulders, and sort of literally just using the tip of the brush for the legs to sort of block it in and just make sure you get points at the end. And just say to yourself, no neck, no hands, no feet, no features, and for little people, so that they kind of look realistic because they're in the distance. Your mind, your imagination makes up for the blanks. just using the tip of the brush there with some white paint and putting in some lighter windows. I've got just under 2 minutes here, so I'm just putting in the lights. With acrylics we work dark to light, so I'm putting in lights and details, and it's a nice way of working. You know, you block in your main sort of areas and you just sort of build up from large to small. I always think of it that way, so don't put any details at the beginning. Just putting some highlights on some of the people now as well. Look, I'm frantically sort of washing my brush there, just to say it looks like the film is speeded up, but yes, I really do paint this frantically fast. I'm actually thought I'd be quite nice to put some sort of highlights on the road as well, in between the people, just to finish off the painting, just with a few little highlights here and there. Tidying up a few things there. I do love to finish my paintings with a spatter, so I'm just added some water to the white, spattering the sort of foreground. They're splashing through puddles, that's my excuse. So here is the finished painting. I really hope you enjoy this tutorial and that inspires you maybe to have a go at painting and challenging yourself to do it in a set time with just one brush and a handful of colours. If you have any questions about this tutorial, please put them in the comments section, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Happy painting. Bye for now.